Hey everybody, good morning and hello. It's June 24th. I can't believe this is just shocking how far along in the month we are. I can't believe it. I keep thinking it's like June 11th. It's just weird. All trading involves a very substantial risk of loss. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. This presentation is intended to be informational and educational and is not a recommendation to buy or sell any financial instrument. I'm not a broker. I'm not here to give you financial advice or sell you any financial instrument. And if you need personal financial advice, consult your financial advisor because that's the person that should be doing your financial advice. It's June 24th, 2020. The bounty spreadsheet will come back into play, I think, later on today in our afternoon session. We will be back today and tomorrow with an afternoon session, which makes me incredibly happy. And so watch Telegram for that link, because I'll be posting the link on Telegram. The weird thing about Zoom webinars is in order to schedule a 2:30 p.m. session for us, I have to cancel a future session and move it. I can't add more sessions to a string of webinars. At least previously I couldn't. I'm sure they will eventually add that. So I have to create a brand new webinar ID and stuff. Okay, so today we're going to look at SNX, USNA, ATXI, Vivo, and Score. And hopefully from these instruments, we will be able to find another trade in here. Of course, we'll look at all the ones that we currently have. I'm not really messing around with Zoom or PDD or AMC. I kind of like where I'm at with some of those. And so I want to avoid sort of overthinking it. I want to avoid sort of doing anything crazy. I still have the VIX call as well that I got the other day. I don't know if any of you are still in that, or if you even took that together with us. But so there we go. Let's take a look at the chart. First, we'll look at the charts. I just want to take a look at the charts first, and then we can go from there. So here's SNX, Synex Corp. It's trading at over $100 a share. And the earnings call, or the earnings, is coming up tomorrow. So I think it's particularly interesting to me to look at the previous earnings transcript, kind of read into that. And then I thought we would look at insider transactions as well. I'm going to take a quick look at the comments here. Plenty of sleep, don't drink within 2 hours. Yeah, I don't really drink a lot of alcohol. Lots of water throughout the day. Keep a notepad by the bed. Write down everything that spins in your head. What a beautiful suggestion. Thank you, Sue. Yeah, you want a financial advisor, Sue? I know a financial advisor that'll talk to you. Send me an email. I got a couple names for you. Follow you on Twitter. Sure. Yeah. Guided meditation. That's a really great idea. That is a really great idea too. Okay, so we'll do this really quickly. You go to twitter.com/Rob Booker, ROBBOOKER. And there it is. So that's the only one. And they won't verify people now. They don't verify new people, so I can't get that little thing next to my name. So there are lots of frauds and stuff, but this is it. Rob Booker, ROBBOOKER. And then once you create a Twitter account, instead of edit profile, you'll see a button here that says follow. So if I look at something like, I don't know, Eric Trump. I don't think I follow Eric Trump. Or Chuck Ross. I don't follow Chuck Ross. So there'd be a button here to follow. So there you go. That's how you do it. Okay, back to where we were before. Okay. So that's USANA. Here's Synex Corp. I think we've looked at this before. And we're just going to look for the words guidance. Given the uncertainty, we are not in a position to provide guidance. So the last time they did earnings, they were not in a position to provide guidance, but something really interesting happened the last time. As indicated earlier, I will provide a few thoughts on the business and then turn it over for another division of their company update. We're seeing essentially normal to slightly positive March run rate. I like that. I like that. We don't know if this will continue. Either way, we'll be supporting in a marketplace that needs blah, blah, blah. What they just said on the last earnings call, which came, look, it came March 24th. So we're now 3 months later. Their earnings call said, we think the pandemic is helping our TS business. This is really good. It probably means they are going to have some great numbers on earnings. Despite being impacted with our China operations, we delivered solid results anyway. It may not be clear how the global pandemic will affect our clients. This is really kind. They have 150,000 staff. They're going to probably they're going to announce that a bunch of people are coming back to work. I like it. So let's look at Insider Cow. All sales, all of them. And this all from a director. But he didn't sell that many, right? 1,000 here, 87 shares there, 928 shares there. An officer, shares sold 17, 16, 15, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. These don't really count, right? Those look like really weird numbers. Do you agree? Those look very strange. So when you get down here, the chief financial officer, he sold, but then a director, is that the same guy that, nope, that's not the same guy that sold. So a director, if you come down here, purchased shares at $71. Smart guy, 10,000. So this director has just been buying tons and tons of shares. Director. And then there's a lot of, there's a bunch of purchases, and then there goes back into sales or whatever. I mean, it just sell. It's all sales. Look at that. But never really a large amount, right? Never really a super large amount. And they were pretty smart about when whoever this was that sold, they were pretty smart. They were selling at $123 a share. So it's a weird, I wanted to show this because it's a weird insider transaction report. It's not positive, but it's not negative either, because if a director sells 89 shares, I don't think that really means anything. I don't think that really matters at all. And, the largest transactions over the course of the last few months were those 10,000 share purchases by the director. Now, that director bought the shares at a much lower price, bought the shares in the 70s, and has enjoyed a pretty substantial run. On the 4-hour chart, it seems like since the last earnings, we are in an upward trend. And we've got 2 bullish profit circles that just printed. These things add up to a lot of positivity for me. I really like the way that looks. It makes me sort of encouraged. And then we go to Yahoo Finance, and let's just take a look at the fundamentals of this company. It's price to earnings ratio of 9. That's not bad. Let's just call it 10. That's not bad. Yahoo Finance says the company is undervalued and the fair value is $167 a share. Profit margin, has operating margin, has return on assets, has a return on equity, which more and more seems to be important to me, has gross profit, has earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, all that stuff. I really kind of love this. Total cash on the books, current ratio above 1, so they have enough cash to pay their short-term debts. They have a pretty strong book value per share. I mean, there's a lot to like about this company. The problem is, and the question is there any open interest on any options that maybe expire in September? So if you look at the calls, there's not a lot of open interest, right? So you end up either um, looking to buy the actual outright shares, right? And there's no bid and ask on a bunch of these. So it kind of becomes problematic, right? The August 21st, there's no data on those even. And then you get to the July ones. And so could we do this? Could we maybe take a look at the July options? Is that a possibility? Well, we could. We can go over to Robinhood and see if those are even possible, right? So we could just look at these and see. So if we looked at the July options, let's just go ahead and do that. It's trading at 103. If we looked at the $105 strike and we went forward, it's a pretty wide spread. It's like $1.40 spread on those. So that I don't like so much. I don't really, as Shania Twain would say, it doesn't impress me much. And the spreads only get wider at certain times. So let's look at the September 105s, $11.70 because you're buying more time. And the spread's even wider. And it's kind of a disappointment there. Like I'm kind of intensely disappointed by, that kind of stuff. And so what I thought about doing this morning was maybe buying like a $90 put and selling, I don't know, the 95. And maybe let's just say I did one of those. Let's say I did 10 of those. Get a credit of $250. What's my collateral required? I have to put up $5,000 in collateral to make $250. In my wildest dreams, there's no way I would do that. Now I could widen it out a little bit and I could make $1,450 risking 5,000. I could widen it out even further and sell the 105. But I probably couldn't get filled on this trade. Look at the limit price on this is extraordinary. I mean, the risk to reward there is pretty substantial. Now we're talking about something I think that looks a little bit more interesting. I mean, put $5,000 up to make $3,900, especially when I'm sort of thinking that by July, the stock's going to go up, not down. It's in an upward trend. It's undervalued. Get a little bit of an earnings surprise, and then these options sort of. But then the problem is, there's all kinds of problems with this. The spread's so wide that I'm never going to get out of this trade. It's going to say that I have a certain profit on the trade, and then I'm never going to get it because I won't be able to get out of the trade. I won't be able to exit the trade because I won't be able to sell it because there will be no interest in these options. So as much as I like this and as really solid as I think this trade is, I think the only trade that anybody could take on this is to buy the stock. And it's $104 per share. And that just makes me sort of, it makes me really sort of sad. Like, what a bummer. Like it's a total bummer. I mean, I could probably try to go out to September and just watch how bad this gets. I buy the 95 and sell the $13. Look at the spread. The spread is 50 cents to $8.60. My biggest hope would be that the stock runs so far that by September, both of those options expire worthless. but it's not really possible. So there's the problem with stocks that just don't really have a lot of volume on their options. And, it's kind of it's a bummer. There we go. So I think wrong expiration date on the options. Oh, okay. Thank you for letting me know. Anyway, so Kelly, not able to attend the webinar yesterday. Oh yeah, sure. Of course, I can get you the recording of that. I'm sorry I didn't post that yesterday. I thought I would have, but you know me. Oh yeah, I did. It's right in the Telegram channel, Kelly. It's right there. Recording, coaching call June 23. There you go. So it's up there and ready for you. Okay. Thank you for all these comments. We're going to look at my comments about sleeping in just a bit. So I have to sort of just remove Sinex. It was fun while it lasted. But I wanted to walk you through an example of something that just didn't make the cut. It's a bummer too, because it has those two bullish profit circles right before earnings. I guess I could buy, I don't know, 100 shares. I could buy 100 shares, and then after earnings, if it goes up $10, it's $1,000. I could do that. It's got those two bullish profit circles. So, I might consider that, but I'm not trying to load my trading account up with tons of trades. I'm not trying to do that. Yeah, okay. Here's Usana Health Sciences dropping toward the yearly volume weighted average price, which I think is a magnet and a target. I think it's going to hit that level. And it's got two bearish profit circles after divergence. It definitely looks like this is the kind of company that isn't doing super great. So if we look at the earnings transcript, we can look at guidance. Oh, and I wanted to make some notes about each one. So let's go back and do that. Business did well during pandemic. Not insider transactions are murky. Insider transactions, no real options open, interest, volume, widespread. This is a no. Okay. So then I have a record of sort of how I felt about these. Okay, guidance. First is unpack the guidance. Can you talk a little bit more about what you're seeing in this June quarter and how we should think about modeling the June quarter? We're probably in a range right around that 250 million mark and reflect earnings from there. The biggest dynamic quarter to quarter is timing of promotions, noticeable in product launch, and we read this before. Challenges last year with the 100-day campaign. So there's only one reference to guidance. Statements, outlook, results. So there's only two statements so we don't get a lot of statements about. Now they're really proud of their employees. Good, that's fine. I'm glad that you're really proud of your employees. That's wonderful for you and your employees, and that's great. And way to go. Let's look at the insider transactions. It's all sells. And not a small amount either, by the way. 10% owners sold 641,000 shares just recently. This is not a buy. So it's an automatic, that's an automatic red flag. It's an automatic red flag. You have technicals that don't look good. You have insiders selling off. I don't even have to look at the rest of it. So we go here, bad technicals. No guidance, tons of insider selling. This is not a buy. But is it a sell? And the answer is, wait a minute, we just said it's probably going down to its yearly volume weighted average price. Could I possibly find options on this? Is it possible that we could buy a put that expires even in July? It's trading at $74. Could we buy the $70 put? What's the spread? The spread's pretty wide. Could we sell the $75 put? The spread's pretty wide. So once again, we're kind of looking at the same problem. We could buy the July 75 call, and we could sell the July $70 call, get a credit of $2,800 in exchange for $5,000. But look at the spread again. The spread is $1.60 to, or $1.70 to $3.95. That's ridiculous. That's a preposterous and ridiculous number. That's impossible. I mean, look what the spreads look like if you do this kind of thing on the S&P 500. So the S&P 500 is trading at 308. I think the S&P 500 is going to fall. So I might buy the June 26th, perfect. The 311 and sell the 310, get 43 cents. I could trade 20 contracts, get $880, $900. The spread is 3 cents wide. So I could get $920 or $900 putting up some ridiculously small amount of collateral. It's pretty extraordinary, if you ask me anyway. We could go here, and we could go here, get $1,900 for $4,000, get $1,000 for $4,000. You know, it's not bad. You know, $900. It's not bad. You know, the collateral. You know, it's not bad, but the spread's easy. The spread's easy. Now, I don't want to lose $4,000 by June 26th. That's the most idiotic thing I could imagine doing. I mean, in 2 days, you know, but you can see that the spreads are much better. You know, like on more heavily traded financial instruments, the spreads are way better, and you know, that's where we want to go. Oh, S&P is not doing well today. AMC is down. Wow, AMC is down to its yearly blah 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 blah. It's down to the thing. It's down to the thing and the thing. My AMC trades up, you know, just $150. It's probably time to just let that one. That's at the yearly volume weighted average price. That's a nice place to just sort of sell those. So I have 10 contracts. See if I can get filled on getting out of those. All done. That's done. That trade's over. My Zoom $250 put, I'm down $240 on that. No big deal. Okay. Okay, let's look at another one from our list here. So Usana is pretty much off the list. ATXI. So there's not a lot of volume here, right? So it's if it's anything at all, it's hopefully a buy trade. Let's look and see what the earnings were like. Oh, look at that. I have to upgrade in order to see it. I have to continue with a free trial of something. Well, that's dumb. So let's see. Avenue Therapeutics. Specialty pharmaceutical company that acquires licenses and develops, commercializes products primarily for the use in the blah-ba-doo-ba-doo. Zach's consensus estimate is improved by 34%. The stock price has climbed 33% already. Okay, that seems like a pretty substantial move already. So, but I'm not opposed to. And then Avenue Therapeutics. As of late, this was written just yesterday. Great time to be an investor, moved higher by 16%. If you consider recent earnings revision, favorable earnings revision, generated $24 billion in global revenues, blasted the roof to 77. Famed investor Mark Cuban says it will produce the world's first trillionaires, but that should leave plenty of money for regular investors. Okay, earnings estimates are up. That seems good. You know what we got to look at now, right? We got to look at ATXI on the old Insider Cal, and it's all buy trades this year. It's, with very few sell trades. Look at all those buy trades. I mean, they're reasonably okay big. Okay, I like this. So earnings revisions are going up. Well-known investors are getting in. The trend is up. Okay, I like that too. And the financials, let's see. I mean, the financials are, I doubt the financials are great. It's probably overvalued, which it is. It probably loses money. It does. It loses money. It doesn't have any earnings. Its current ratio, it has 7.26. It has so much cash, it's crazy compared to its debt. Kind of an interesting it's an interesting looking company. What are their revenues? What is their total 52-week? We're at the high of the 52-week range. 49,000 shares on average. That's not enough shares, really. It would be hard for me to buy this and not get in the way of other traders. Let's just see what the volume says here on average volume, 35,000. Okay. I'm not going to trade this. I think it might kind of move around too much. I'd like to buy 1,000 shares of this. I actually really like that a lot. I think this one fits the criteria. So let's go down here and okay, I don't know what I just did. There we go. So ATXI, lots of insider buying, positive earnings revisions, growth. Mark Cuban and other big, fat, hairy deal investors are in. I think it's a buy. I think ATXI is a buy. I think that it's reasonable. I mean, we could do right? We could do this. I could take this. It's only what 37 of us right now. I mean, could I get in on 1,000 shares? I mean, I could probably get in on that. We're at the weekly pivot. It's in a super bullish trend. It's got one bearish profit circle. That doesn't mean anything to me without divergence. It's got two bearish profit circles along the way. It doesn't really mean anything to me. There's just not a lot of volume here, right? So what happens when I get in this? Am I going to be able to get out of it? I don't know. I'll do it. We'll see. So I got it. I bought it. I own it. I dumped my AMC trade. I'm replacing it with this one, right? So I own ATXI. Let's put a little alert here. We crossed the $12 mark or close to the $12 mark. Seems reasonable. Seems like a pretty great idea. So I'll delete AMC from my stuff. I'll put ATXI up there. Color it green. Maybe we could just quickly look at Vivo. So Vivo is in a savage trend with lots of bearish divergence, but it is in a really, really savage trend. Seems difficult to imagine this having a lot more room to go. We could take a look at it really quickly on insider transactions. It's all buy trades from earlier in the year at prices much lower than where we are right now. So that would have been a nice trade, I think, earlier in the year. Nice trade 3 months ago, not as much now. And then score. We'll just take a look at SCOR. ComScore. So ComScore is this, right? It's like this business. I'm not going to even say what it is because what do I know? But this is an interesting. It hasn't. It's not on some kind of rip roaring savage tear. This looks okay. We'll go back over here to the home page. Score. All purchases. Now ComScore is trading at $3.15. And we had some purchases last year around the same area, 10,000 shares, 27,000 shares, and so forth. Somebody was smart last year. They sold off at $21. Wow, look at all those. Some of those guys and gals purchased it when it was way higher. Kind of seems interesting. Gosh, can that even be right? Holy moly. No, this can't be right. Previous close, $27? I don't think so. Am I missing something here? Okay, it was much higher last year. And look at that drop. Holy moly. If you'd known the insiders were selling and you'd seen the bearish divergence, oh my goodness. What a great ride that would have been if you could short it. I like this so far. I don't really have a lot of problems with this. Can we find the earnings transcript? Step back. Business performance will improve over the course of the year. Revenue increasing. Great. That's a brilliant statement. I like it. I like it a lot. I think it's a reason. It's the insiders are now buying again. It's in kind of an upward trend for the last little while here. I like it a lot. We do have this missed weekly pivot down here at $2.93. I wouldn't mind buying it, on a little bit of a dip. I like it. Yeah, I don't have any problems with this one. I think this is a buy. So we can go score insider buys, earnings. So earnings transcript says revenue increasing this year. It's kind of nice. Okay, there's one more thing I wanted to do while we were here. Latest buys. So this is Insider Cow, today and yesterday. Look at all those latest buys. Looking for the biggest share amount. Sharing services global. Total proceeds. Let's see who bought the most. Cardtronics PLC bought 133,000 shares at $23. Fudge muffin. So if we look at that stock, Oh, that's interesting. You get to go over there. Hot buys. Let's look at hot buys. I just wanted to see some of these other places. First Midwest Bank Corp. Hmm. FMBI. Let's just look at that. Hmm. 12 bucks. That's not bad. It's going to be bullish divergent. It's bottoming out. That's kind of cool. What kind of insider transactions are we looking at here? FMBI. Director, COO, director, CEO. Wow, everybody's buying. The officer, commercial banking, and they're buying hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of shares at 25 bucks. Looks like an exercising of an option a little bit, right? Because it's all at that exact price. Did it trade up at $25? What? Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily call that bullish. Those round numbers. It's interesting. I wouldn't necessarily call that super bullish. Yeah, total records. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna put that on the list of things that looks just absolutely amazing. Okay, I want to look at the trades that I have. PDD, not really looking bad for me. This is not a bullish day. It's going to print a bearish profit circle pretty soon. I'm going to be very excited about that. PDD, but not looking super okay to me. I wonder what the yeah, the 4 hour charts. It definitely wants to print a bearish profit circle. And then the 1 hour is so close to printing a bearish profit circle. So very much okay with that one. Zoom 1 hour is going to print a bearish profit circle, is going to happen. And the 4 hour is going to cross over on the stochastic. Love it. I think both of those are totally brilliant. I still own LXRX, and it's just printing so many bullish profit circles. It's insane. I got out of my SGLB trade today. I think it still could go up. I'm done with it. I don't care about booking holdings anymore. I'm not really super interested in Cisco or Comcast, not necessarily right now, but we could just keep an eye on some of those things. Okay, I'm gonna look at your comments. Blood glucose volatility is a major cause of sleep insomnia. A snack with low, like nut butter. Oh, I have nut butter now, and an apple and banana. Thank you. Scott's webinar get posted last week. I don't know. Thank you for asking. I will find out. Sleeping music, headphones or earbuds. Great. Yeah, if ATXI is not making any earnings, where's the cash ratio coming from? Well, they still have money in the bank, and that current ratio is basically it's an indication for if you have a current ratio of 7, that means you have $7 of cash for every dollar of short-term debt coming due. The current ratio is a measure of how capable you are of paying your debts if they came due right away. And that's a really good thing. Benadryl, coffee, or anything with caffeine. Yep. Transcendental meditation. I didn't know you were into TM. I did my TM stuff 4 years ago, William. Calm app, I love it. I'm going to listen to that too. I have it. Okay. These are great. These suggestions were just absolutely glorious. Thank you. Those buys were 2018. Thank you, Tom. Yes. Okay. Those buys were 2018. Yeah. On stuff we just looked at. Can I put the Zoom and PDD trades? Yes. So PDD, we don't see any transactions. Okay. So the PDD trade, here's the trade that I have. I own the $80 put that expires in July. I own that one. So that's the one. I have that one. And then Zoom. Oh, that does not look like a good candle. I know that the screen is hard to see, so let me just zoom in here. That is not a good candle. Does that look like a bullish candle to you? Wow, it makes me want to load up on this trade. It makes me just want to. Wow, that is a 1 hour candle. That's the 4 hour candle. Not good. Not good. I'll write it down. I own the $250 21st of August put. Oh, there you go. I'm going to stop the recording here.